Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we'll be reacting to a special message that Mark Carney has for America. This was highly recommended. Carney warns American reporter, keep your nose out of Canada's affairs. Basically, like, man, get your nose out of our business. You too much in the mix. All in the Kool-Aid, don't even know the flavor. Original video link will be down below in the description.
And I know you're from the New York Times, and I'm going to message for Americans. Okay, you can brass this message out. Canadians believe in Canada. Canadians are getting behind this country. Canadians are making decisions with where they travel, where they purchase, who they support, the institutions they support. They're coming together and supporting our country. And we are building this home of the Prime Minister of a G7 country for centuries. That's what we're doing today.
For more than a decade, the official residence of Canada's Prime Minister, 24 Sussex Drive, has stood empty, deteriorating into what many have described as a national embarrassment. Successive governments talked about fixing it. None of them did, until today. Mark Carney unveiled a completely different approach. Instead of simply asking taxpayers to foot the bill, he announced a nationwide design competition and a voluntary fundraising initiative aimed at restoring one of Canada's most important national landmarks.
A fundraiser? This is basically by choice. You know, in the U.S., you ain't had no choice. It don't matter what the project is or what needs to get done. Oh, we paying for it for sure. Man, they gonna bump them taxes up, and we gonna deal with it, and we gonna pay them taxes. Man.
It was a bold proposal, but what happened after the announcement was even more interesting, because an American reporter tried to challenge the entire idea, and Carney's response quickly became one of the biggest moments of the press conference. But first, here's how Carney unveiled his plan.
For years, many have agreed that 24 Sussex should be saved, but it was left to language, and so the damage spread, and the repair costs climbed. And now it's in critical condition. So today, our government is acting to renew this building, restore this institution, preserve our history, protect our heritage and traditions for generations to come, because that continuity matters. A nation is more than the people who live in it today. It includes everyone who came before us and everyone who will come after.
Yup, that's right.
Our institutions are how we carry forward what we were given and how we pass that on, at least intact, ideally improved, to those who follow.
Yup.
24 Sussex Drive is one of these institutions, and we will not let it crumble. We will set it right. Today, we're launching a national design and build competition to restore 24 Sussex Drive, to become, once again, a secure, accessible, and sustainable official residence and a working venue for Canada's future prime ministers.
Why was it neglected for so long? Did you guys not have enough money to fund it? You know, fix it and everything? Like, what was really the issue? I mean, I know Canada had a lot of other issues going on. A lot of other projects being built, a lot of projects on hold that were actually finished, and you guys have sunk a lot of money into, billions. Like, there's been a lot going on in Canada, you know? But over the years, what has happened? Why was, these institutions, should I say, neglected?
The announcement had barely finished before the questions became much tougher. A reporter from the New York Times questioned why Canadians should donate to this project when hospitals, universities, and charities are also asking for public support. It was the sharpest challenge of the entire press conference, an attempt to sabotage the entire thing.
Right.
But instead of retreating, Carney used the question to make a much broader point. Not just about 24 Sussex, but about Canada's confidence in itself and Canadians' ability to decide what they want to support.
And that's what I don't think the American reporter's understanding. Because it could come to all these things in the U.S. and we have no choice. We are paying taxes towards these things, you know? Mark Carney is literally giving people a choice. So it's about the hospitals or this or that. It's literally a choice of what the people want to invest into, what they want to donate to. It's not forcefully. He literally said that about the institution as well. Don't you think when you have more consideration for the people, you know, their pockets, everybody has different life situations. We don't all live the same life. You know what I'm saying? We don't all make the same amount, you know? So when you get to accommodating people and, you know, helping them out in ways like that, where it's not forcefully, you know, making them do things and pay taxes on things, that was just straight up the government's decision, you know? That's how it is in the US. In Canada, he's literally giving you a decision and saying, you know, you can choose what you would like to donate to, this and that. Not saying you have to at all. But don't you think, guys, giving people the grace and having mercy on them like that, don't you think it's going to make them want to be on your side? It's going to make them want to give, want to donate, want to offer and help out? I mean, that's how I work as a human being. Don't you think it's like that for a lot of human beings? I know, you know, we got some cruel human beings in this world, but not everybody like that. Like, I wouldn't mind. I would be like, okay, let me help. Or such and such, send me the link, you know? Just because you didn't ask. Just because you didn't ask me and you didn't force me. Like, of course I'm going to be all in for it, especially if it's a good cause and it's going to help out, you know, the country I'm living in. Help out boosting, you know, our economy. Helping make Canada more stronger, more reliable, more stable on its own. Less dependent on the U.S. because we know even the citizens of Canada want that, you know, and they're trying everything in their power as much as they can do to make it that way as well. Like, what is the reporter talking about? You wanted to put him on the spot, and you got put on the spot and made us look bad as a country.
Itself and Canadians' ability to decide what they want to support, essentially asking the reporter to keep his nose out of a Canadian project. Watch this exchange carefully.
Like, why would you?
Ian Austin, the New York Times. What message do you have for hospitals, universities, medical charities in general, about why the government thinks it's necessary to compete against them for donations for this project?
Why the government thinks it's necessary to compete was a crazy statement. Who are you to make a statement like that and say that the government's intentions, you know, was to compete? It's not what they intended to do. There's just a lot of things around Canada right now that could use some serious funding, you know? So there's more than enough. It's more than enough options for people to be like, oh, okay, do I want to this, that? Maybe this one, you know, we could do that, you know? Like, I don't understand how did you some way in your mind think that this was a challenging question to ask Mark Carney? I mean, out of seriously, all the questions that everybody in this earth has asked this man, you asked him that, thinking that you was just gonna make him give in, basically play him, outsmart him, basically.
About why the government thinks it's necessary to compete against them for donations.
Like, that's genuinely pissing me off how you said it like that. You know, why do you think it's okay to compete against? I would have cut you off right there. Hold on real quick. What you mean compete? And I like how he is, because, like, you know, he do make his face expressions, but, like, he cutting people off and stuff, though. You know, Trump wasn't having that. Trump, he cutting you off right there on the scene. At least Carney got some respect, and he gonna let the reporter finish saying the nonsense, but
in general, about why the government thinks it's necessary to compete against them for donations for this project.
What?
Look, a country...
Oh my gosh. Like, I would have to wrap my mind around that too. It's the way he asked it, because I wanted to hear how the question was asked. Since I heard how it was asked. It's like a turn off question. Like, yeah, that'll definitely change your mood. What do you mean by compete?
We have to do many things at the same time.
Say that. I just said that. We could do many things at the same time. There's so much things for us to invest in, donate to. We got so much things we working on. Like, that question genuinely is like getting me there. Like,
We have to do many things at the same time. We have to build physical infrastructure as a country. We have to reinforce our defense, reassert our sovereignty in the Arctic. We have to invest in medical technologies, which we will be doing. We need to invest in our people,
Yep.
social services.
So much.
As individuals, the same holds. Decisions in terms of supporting the arts, supporting humanitarian causes around the world, supporting direct charity in your community.
Supporting humanitarian causes around the world. Supporting things going on in your community. You may not even know it. And he's talking to the American Reporter. We are supporting things that's happening in your community. How dare you make a statement like that? And we over here helping you out as well. Oh my gosh. Like, that's seriously a bad look for us. Not only, because it shows that not only is Canada trying to fund for its own country, you know, for itself, but despite all the little things that Canada has going on at the same time that so many people could donate to or this or that, Canada is still finding space, room for people around the world and other countries to help them and donate to them, and, you know, communities within our cities, you know, our states and everything in the U.S.
As individuals, the same holds. Decisions in terms of supporting the arts, supporting humanitarian causes around the world,
Yeah.
supporting direct charity in your community, and individuals make those decisions, and we very much respect. This is a response. The structure here is a response to incoming interest in supporting this project. Okay. It is a response, and Ian, I know you're from the New York Times, and I'm going to
Was this live? I think this video was cut up a little bit.
message for Americans. Okay, you can pass this message out. Canadians believe in Canada. Canadians are getting behind this country. Canadians are making decisions with where they travel, where they purchase, who they support, the institutions they support. They're coming together and supporting our country. And we are building this home of the Prime Minister of a G7 country for centuries. That's what we're doing today.
If that wasn't enough, another reporter raised a completely different concern. Canada is one of the world's G7 economies. So why should Canadians be asked to contribute at all? Why not simply have the government pay for everything?
Because we all live in the country. We all need to help and boost the economy and the people and give opportunity. We all need to help each other. If we put everything on the government like how it is in the U.S., because you're so spoiled and used to that, our country, that's why we're in debt. Same with Canada. They're going right into debt. They're going right into debt. They just put in billions within a bridge that couldn't even open yet. You would have been in debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, what do you, like, what? Nobody wants to do it how the U.S. does it. We may never get out of debt. A lot of these countries are not even in debt. Just because they got different procedures as to how they handle things, how they fund their projects and everything. Man, the people got to help. That's how it be sometimes. The people got to help. Now, if I'm running a country and I need the people to help fund such things so that I don't go into debt for borrowing and loaning and this and that, I'm giving out opportunities as well, okay? It's going to be a slow process because it's like a push and pull effect, because I'll be making money, revenue, gross income, but I'll also be losing some because I need to pay these people. I need to break them off for helping because I'm providing nothing but jobs and opportunities and stuff. That way these people can make money and they can fund what they got going on. You know, what I'm trying to do and this and that within the country for everyone, but I'm still providing opportunity. You see what I'm saying? Like, you really got to be strategic with it. I just came up with that off the dome, so I know it can't be that hard, especially for intellectual world leaders and stuff. You know, Mark Carney know what he doing for real, for real. I've been keeping up with this man for about a year, 2 years. He know what he doing.
At all. Why not simply have the government pay for everything?
Like, what do you mean, bro?
Carney's answer revealed the thinking behind his entire proposal.
I think people think the government just spawn with money. Like they come equipped with money and that's it. They think of money, they think of the government. I swear it's like that in the US. I don't understand. Now, I know they print the money and they make it and everything, but that doesn't give them the legal right to actually just take it and spend it. That's not how that works still. That's not how that works. There has to be some type of ransom paid, should I say. Homage, should I say. That's the word I want to use. Some type of homage. Anybody just take it, go spend on these projects and the school system and the food and this and that. Come on, man.
He argued that this wasn't about finding money because Canada couldn't afford the
Y'all be
project.
getting all worked up.
It was about giving Canadians the opportunity to take ownership of one of the country's most important national institutions,
That's right.
while ensuring the final design is chosen through open competition rather than politics.
Rather than
Here's
politics.
that exchange.
So I wonder if you could talk about what do you expect the bill to be, or you'll ask the design team to work in, and what does it say that a G7 country like Canada, in developing its own patrimony, is too cheap to pay the full bill, that you got to pass the cap to pay for renovations of a place like this. So what's it going to cost, and why are we going to pay for the thing?
Well, a couple of things. So that was a triple barrel, if I could count. The first one, I've only been inside once when it was functioning with Prime Minister Martin. And I was met Prime Minister Harper in his office, one of his offices. So I've been inside before. I've been inside once in its current state of disrepair, which is, I mean, it is literally stripped down to the studs and barely held together. I'd like to thank the NCC for at least preserving those options. Thank you, Mr. Nussbaum, for that. So that answers the first part of your question. What does it say? Look, one of the things that has struck me over the course of the last 15 months or so has been the amount of interest in supporting the renovation, a sense of ownership and responsibility of a number of Canadians that this is their house. It's occupied temporarily by whoever is Prime Minister, but it's their house. It's a symbol of the nation, and they want to contribute. And this is a common theme across the country in recent years, certainly the time I've been Prime Minister, is Canadians want to participate in various ways. Yep. It can be choosing a wine from Okanagan over one from California. It's vacationing in Prince Edward Island or the Gaspé instead of going to Florida. All these little decisions are there. It's the interest in participating in, which is why we're setting up the Canada Strong Fund, ability to
But you know what? It's like that in other countries as well, because the U.S. is very selfish. Comes with very selfish people. They're not even thinking about the youth, the future, their kids, generations after. They're not even thinking about them. They're just selfish and they're living in the moment. So why would they sacrifice or want to give in and help out their country? Especially how naive these people are. They feel that, they just are owed. I don't know. Like, you ever feel somebody who's like entitled? That's how Americans are. You feel really entitled, as if the government owes us as well for things. I don't know. Like, people in other countries genuinely want to help. They genuinely want to be involved in sporting events. They genuinely want to be involved with the schooling system. I almost said the schooling system. That was crazy. The schooling system. I'm not cutting it out. The food laws, like, what else? Safety laws. Do I have to keep going? Tax, politics. This is how it goes. People want to be involved because it is going to affect you regardless whether you like it or not. Oh, you're going to have to deal with it. So if you have a little bit of a say-so, I think you should take part in it. Because your little bit of a say-so and somebody else's little bit of a say-so and another person's little bit of a say-so. I got to keep going. Everybody from Canada's little bit of their say-so means something. And it's going to make a huge difference, a big change. People can't even come together at sporting events here in the U.S., at all, unless they're jumping somebody at a sporting event. So why would you ever intend for these people to be getting together to, let's give some money and help donate for this? Let's help donate for that? Man, these people ain't doing that. These people are not doing that. I'm not speaking for everyone, because we have a lot of people that will, but I'm looking at the ratio. I'm looking at the full percentage. Other countries versus the U.S. We are at the bottom of that chart when it comes to support for our own good and well-being. But be the main ones complaining.
Which is why
I'm
we're
getting hot
setting
and
up the
worked up.
Canada Strong Fund. Ability for Canadians to participate directly in the building of the country in these big nation building projects. So we're creating that opportunity. It's an opportunity. And coming behind this. And look, as I said to the first question, we have the means to do it. This is a way to have the participation.
Once the press conference ended, political analyst Tom Mulcair summed up what many had been thinking for years. He described the condition of 24 Sussex as a national embarrassment and argued that, after more than a decade of delay, someone had finally put forward a practical roadmap instead of another promise. Whether Canadians agree with every aspect of the proposal or not, Mulcair believes this is exactly the kind of long-term decision previous governments avoided. Here's his analysis.
There's been a lot of criticism that the a G7 nation doesn't have a residence for the prime minister to be living in, at least.
It's embarrassing.
At least at this point. So I think that.
Wait a minute, cause wait. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind, bro. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have people getting on me in the comments. I'm gonna have people getting on me in the comments. Oh my gosh, because the whole time I'm saying institution, and I'm in the back of my mind like institution. Why is that ringing a bell? Mark Carney don't got no place to sleep, man. He's supposed to be sleeping there. Where does he has his own home? And I was always thinking that before. Where is this man sleeping? Does he have a mansion somewhere? That's what I was really thinking. Like, how is he living? Or does it got to a certain point of time where, because I'm constantly, staying up to date with this type of stuff. I always see him traveling and everything. Every single day, this man's on a plane or a helicopter going here, maybe 2-3 countries a day. When do you really have time to go home and relax in your bed? So it got to the point where I'm thinking, this man don't got no home. I think he just travels and he's just literally holding it down for Canada right now, working. He not even worried about sleeping in his home. Hotel rooms, little offices or something is what he needs. A few hours? That's what I was thinking. He don't even got a home for the man to sleep in. Like how we got some presidential, we got the White House for this and that, Oh, wow. I feel like, especially, let me go back and listen a little bit more and listen a little carefully and make sure before I get to talking a little bit more. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Analysis.
There's been a lot of criticism that the a G7 nation doesn't have a residence for the prime minister to be living in, at least.
It's embarrassing.
Yep. Okay. So I feel that as Canadians and everything. I'm not even Canadian, and I would still honestly help. We got to fund that, and we got to get that thing up and looking nice. That way, the man who is literally helping your country right now, defending it, playing all the cards right, literally playing chess, outsmarting everyone. Well, I want to say us. I just want to say the U.S. Not everyone, but everyone a part of the U.S. and the government and everything. He's the reporters. He's straight up outsmarting everyone. This man is doing very well by your side. Very well. So I think it's best, for people to actually invest and help. That way, it's him and his family as well, right? The family moves in as well, too. They could go ahead and have, what would a word be? What would I call? Because in the U.S., it would be called, a presidency area or, a presidential housing or this and that. What would we really say in Canada? Because there's no president. Of course, it's a PM. So what would the word really be? Like a royal? I don't know, because that'd be more like the UK. Yeah, please let me know, guys. What would a word really be? A good word? I can't think of one, Please let me know. But I think this would be good for him, I think this would be good for him, Seriously. I kind of feel bad now. I'm hearing about this.
Nation doesn't have a residence for the prime minister to be living in, at least.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, at least at this point. So I think that point is well taken. Are you concerned about, and we'll see what Mr. Poilievre says in response to this as well. We heard his comments yesterday. We played them a little bit earlier too, at least at this stage. I feel like it's going to be hard necessarily to be super critical of it given how this is going to play out. Are there any concerns though about who's going to be able to fund this renovation though? And because the prime minister was asked about that earlier too.
Well, I think you always have to be careful. And if it were, for example, well-connected people who have dealings with the government, or if it was a company and so forth, yeah, you'd have to be careful. But I think that funneling it through a foundation that is connected, with Rideau Hall, as the name suggests, we're talking about government properties. It is arm's length because you do have the National Capital Commission in there. They haven't always been the most effective bunch, to be honest with you, but this time Mark Carney's driving it, and this is signature Carney. He likes getting things done.
That's what I'm saying.
Looked at
This one, it's a little different. You guys had past PMs and everything, just like how we had past presidents and everything. Everybody got their own personal opinions and everything, When it comes to Mark Carney, he's doing right by y'all for real. It's hot. It's like the sun goes down and it gets real hot. I think because it get real humid. And I think it got something to do, like when the sun goes down, it's like less windy. Because the sun is not, all right, it's a whole thing. I don't want to get into it, but I really start noticing that for real. I can't say school taught me that because
He's been there for just over a year. He says, okay, this is a national embarrassment. Let's find a plan. And so after just over a year in office, he's announcing his plan. And a year from today, on Canada Day, he'll announce what it's going to look like. Great. I think we're all winners in this.
Today's announcement wasn't simply about renovating an old building. It was about whether Canada should finally restore one of its most important national institutions.
Absolutely.
After years of neglect.
Absolutely.
Mark Carney's proposal will continue to spark debate over how it's funded and how it's carried out. But one thing changed today. For the first time in years, there is a detailed plan on the table and a timeline to make it happen. Whether that plan succeeds will ultimately be judged by Canadians. But today's announcement marked the beginning of a conversation that many believed should have happened long ago. If you enjoyed today's analysis, don't forget to subscribe to
Pretty cool knowing that, Mark Carney was really all in for his country, especially not knowing that, he knew he wasn't going to receive such perks and stuff like housing and everything. I don't know how the former U.S. presidents felt like, where they oh, we get to move in the White House. Drivers, this, that. You get accommodated to, for real. You do. You get accommodated to. And I feel like that may be another reason, another factor that drives people and motivates them in the times of election and everything as candidates. But you got to be in the politics, though, because everybody knows that politics is not all exciting and everything all the time. Absolutely not. So, yet again, you really got to be into it. But Mark Carney, straight up locked in on that. He couldn't even think about a housing or all the benefits because he wasn't getting that. So, what do you guys think as Canadians? Do you guys think he deserves that? You guys think he deserves, a nice housing and everything? As your PM? Has he earned that? Has he proven himself enough to be able to earn such things? Please let me know in the comments down below. How are you guys willing to help? What will be some of the things you guys will be donating to? I'm pretty sure Americans can help donate as well, right? Especially if Canada is helping globally. Come on now. Other countries definitely have to have an impact on the greatness of your country. At least I hope so. Because otherwise, what are we doing? We got to help. How Canada over here trying to save the day, save the world, help everybody, and provide for everybody at the same time? Because realistically, we are all using little things from Canada, right now as we're speaking. So let's help out, Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications on. This video got me worked up and I'm hot. It's like earlier I was recording at 5, 6 p.m. Perfectly fine. But every time I hit about that 9 o'clock, 10 p.m., it get hot. Like I said, I think it's because the sun be going down and everything. It get real humid. My goodness. Stay safe. Feel free to follow my Twitch and Kick down below in the description. And subscribe to all my other YouTube channels as well. I love you all, and I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video. Flood my comment section with some humorous videos for us to react to as well. I want to react to some humorous things for my peoples out there. Let's get a good laugh in for the next video. So please flood that comment section.